Okay, we got super lucky twice. We flew over Denali yesterday, and turns out extremely rare to get a perfectly clear day. Denali has its own weather. It's perfectly clear above us. It also happens to be perfectly clear over Denali right now, so we're gonna get a perfectly clear view from above and from the ground. Pretty cool, pretty lucky.
Okay, a critical point for you to understand is that Denali State Park is actually about 2 hours from Denali National Park's entrance. If you're interested in Denali Peak, you're actually going to get a better shot from Denali State Park. You may decide to stay at Kasugi Campground where we stayed. Here's a pic of our rig and Buster the truck. Ultimately, you'll need to decide what's right for you and what you want to see most when you're near Denali National Park and Denali Peak. Now, as mentioned, we were pretty fortunate. We were able to be a part of the 30% Club at Denali. Pretty lucky. Now, if you want to see the peak, the best time to go is supposed to be March or April. We arrived in August and had an unobstructed view 2 days in a row.
Like this, like focus where it is.
But because all the little divots in the driveway and stuff, it's filled in so fast, so I'm really forced to come in the door.
Dad, you should look at this.
After visiting the Denali viewpoint south in Trapper Creek and Denali State Park, we head north to make the 2-hour drive to see Denali National Park.
We're driving through Denali right now. When you're here, you can take your vehicle, what is it, 15 miles?
It's 15 miles, yeah.
15 miles. Otherwise, you need to do the bus service. And there are all kinds of buses going in and out of here. Large groups that'll take you how far? Is it?
I think 43, mile 43.
Mile 43. I think there was actually a landslide or something that happened with the road a couple of days ago, so it's a little less.
Turns out after further investigation, there was in fact a landslide at mile 43. There are bus tours that go all the way to Kantishna, which is a 92-mile, 11-hour bus tour to see the wildlife in the area, as well as Denali. Because of the landslide, though, it's been shut down for the season. If you're planning on heading out in 2023, make sure to check it out. I'm sure that the landslide will be resolved by then. You'll notice the buses there are tan or green, and the tan actually indicate that it is a guided tour with audio details of the park, and they oftentimes stop, as you can see here, to explain parts about the park as well as for wildlife. The green buses, on the other hand, are simply tours without audio, but they do stop, obviously, to see the wildlife when they come across it. You'll find that there's pullouts all up and down the road for people to stop, get out, and look at the animals that are in the area as well as Denali. Here we stopped to take a look at an elk that was out at about 300 yards. Believe it or not, while we were there, this was the only large animal we saw while at Denali. Also wanted to share that this is the best shot of Denali we were able to get while on the 15-mile track that you can take with your personal vehicle. You can see it with binoculars on a clear day, but it's still pretty far. As you get to the end of the 15 miles, there's the Savage River Trailhead for hiking if you choose to do so. And this is where they turn you around and where the benefit of getting on one of these buses is, because they go much further into the park. Here we decided to turn around and head back towards the entrance. We'll return another day to do some hiking.
Well, hello. We are back in Denali. Second trip to the visitor center. Today it is definitely cloudy, so you cannot see Mount Denali. But we're going to do a hike here today with the Trinellos. We've actually traveled halfway to our next stop up in Fairbanks. So we're going to take you with us. The truck has a nice fade going on from the roads up here in Alaska. It's a little dirty, as one might expect. But nice day nonetheless. We're gonna do this hike and then proceed on up to Fairbanks, where we're gonna spend the next week. Here we go.
The Denali Visitor Center is one of the best that we've seen. It's multi-leveled. It has a sort of museum that you can go into. While many of those visitor centers do have something like it, this one is much larger and much more informative. So we started here at the visitor center, as the trails we decided to take are right here next to the visitor center, get us access to the park, and they're fairly quick because we are on our way to Fairbanks after this.
Yeah. The Moreno homestead from 1921 to 1937. The Enterprise Maurice Moreno owned and operated roadhouse on this site where you're standing now. Pretty amazing that this building stood here for a very long time. And now the new owner of the property, Vera Trinello.
Does it blow your mind when it comes to like the homestead stuff? That somebody, first of all, made it out here somehow, and then was like, yeah, the middle of this forest was a great place to start whatever, you know?
I feel the same way about Phoenix. Somebody was out there in the middle of August and went, yep, this is it. This is home.
Yeah.
Or they survived the winter out here and they're like, it's still okay.
Yeah.
But you know, there was a bit more traffic specifically because of the gold rush that was happening out here.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I tell you.
Crazy. There, look majestic.
As we're getting ready to head on, it's important that we mention that one of the things about Denali National Park is the magic bus. The Chris McCandless story that was turned into a movie, Into the Wild, in 2007, details his unfortunate adventure into the Alaskan bush, where he spent the last 100 days of his life. The way it's connected is that when you get to Fairbanks, the bus where Chris McCandless died has been moved to the University of Alaska in Fairbanks. Well, that's it. If you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and remember, whatever that thing is for you, do it. This is not a trial run.